What's going on, everyone? I am your keeper of truth, and today is a very exciting day. It is my first NXT video on the channel, so I am very excited about that. But not only that, it is also a pay-per-view that is just too big for one night. So as always, let's get into my NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 predictions. You know, I was originally kind of worried about NXT Stand and Deliver being 2 nights. I thought that it might have been a little bit too much for NXT to pull off, but you know what? I'm actually very excited about both nights of this pay-per-view, and to be honest, I really think that it's going to outperform both nights of WrestleMania as well, easily. All right, now with that out of the way, each night has 5 matches on it. And the first match up for night 1 of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, we have Kushida taking on Pete Dunne. Now, I am very excited for this match. I'm a huge fan of both of these guys. Kushida is awesome. He had a really good run in NXT for a while there where he was beating the hell out of everyone, and it never really came to anything, I guess is what I would say. They never really paid it off with that, and Pete Dunne has always been a huge player in NXT and of course NXT UK as well, so I'm sure that these guys will put on a very good match here at the pay-per-view. But if I'm being honest, I have to give this one to Pete Dunne. I can see him gaining the most from this. We could get a Pete Dunne and Finn Balor kind of feud out of this as well. I think that he is the major player in this one, and I really think that he'll benefit most from it. I'm not really sure where Kushida would go after this. I really think that Kushida should be in the NXT North American Championship picture scene still. I could see him running around with that championship, but for right now, I could see Pete Dunne winning this and then going on to potentially challenge Finn Balor for the NXT Championship, or even just continue to be in that main event scene that he's been in for quite a while now. Next up on the card, we have ourselves a Gauntlet Eliminator match for an opportunity at Johnny Gargano's NXT North American Championship, and he will get that shot on night 2 of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. So this match is a gauntlet, and the participants were determined in an episode of NXT last week. It was a little overbooked for my liking. There was a lot to this that I think that they didn't necessarily need. So the order of this match is the following. We'll have Isaiah Swerve Scott, then Leon Ruff, then Bronson Reed, then Cameron Grimes, then Dexter Lumis, and finally we have everyone's favorite bootleg Batman, LA Knight. So this match is a little bit interesting in other terms as well. It seems like a couple of these people could be in feuds with each other as well. So we've seen Isaiah Swerve Scott have a little bit of beef with Leon Ruff, and then also on the other side, we've seen Bronson Reed and LA Knight, Lols, take on each other in a match as well, where Bronson Reed was actually able to get the win over LA Knight. So it really, for me, comes down to it either being Cameron Grimes or Dexter Lumis, and if I absolutely have to pick one of them, I think it's gonna be Dexter Lumis. Cameron Grimes can do his own thing. He is absolutely amazing right now. I think Cameron Grimes is really headed to the moon. But right now, I think that Dexter Lumis needs to get this one, and it'll tie right in with everything that is happening with the way and all of that as well. So for me, I have Dexter Lumis winning this one and then going on to take on Johnny Gargano in night 2 of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver for the NXT North American Championship. That was a mouthful. I don't believe that this next match was actually planned on happening originally, but unfortunately, due to an injury suffered from Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan and him were forced to vacate the NXT Tag Team Championships. So at night 1 of the pay-per-view, we have MSK taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans and Legado del Fantasma in a triple threat match, and the winners of this match will be crowned the new NXT Tag Team Champions. And I'm going to be honest, this one is pretty tough for me. I really don't see it being Legado del Fantasma at all. It's really got to be between MSK and the Grizzled Young Veterans. Something tells me that MSK being the new guys on the scene, it should be them. But I also believe that the Grizzled Young Veterans were supposed to win last year's Dusty Cup, and they ended up getting screwed out of that because the fans absolutely loved Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle together, which who doesn't? That was absolutely amazing. So I think for this one, I'm going to continue to go with another heel tag team. I think that the Grizzled Young Veterans are going to get the win here. And maybe what will happen afterwards is that they'll continue to feud with MSK, and maybe they'll drop them to them later down the line. But, you know, I think that the Grizzled Young Veterans, they're ready to go. MSK could still need a little bit of work there for NXT. You know, when WWE takes people from other shows, they like to train them in their style. So that's going to be my pick for this one. I think that's a pretty safe choice. The next match on this card is going to slap, absolutely pun intended here. We have Walter defending his NXT United Kingdom Championship against Tommaso Ciampa. This right here for me is going to be the match to look out for. This is going to be the match that steals the show, if you ask me. I'm really excited for this one. It should be really, really good. Unfortunately, I think that the outcome is a little bit obvious. I really don't see them taking the NXT United Kingdom Championship off of Walter in a random match with Tommaso Ciampa. But at the end of the day, I think that this match is going to be very exciting. These guys are probably going to beat the living hell out of each other. And I feel so bad for Ciampa's chest, man. Walter is probably going to chop it to oblivion. I can't imagine what that feels like. But, you know, I'm not sure where this goes afterwards. It seemed like Walter and Finn Balor were supposed to have a feud as well over the NXT United Kingdom Championship. I don't necessarily see Finn Balor dropping that title anytime soon, at least. So maybe we'll get that down in the future. Maybe we can have an NXT United Kingdom champion taking on the NXT champion. I think that would be best for business. That would be a lot of fun as well, especially if there's no real direction for Finn Balor or Walter to go in currently. Just having them battle each other would be a pretty cool thing to see, especially with the size difference. Walter seems to always work really well with little guys as well. So this would be a no-brainer if you ask me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally that time. It is the main event match for night one of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. We have Io Shirai defending her NXT Women's Championship against Raquel Gonzalez. And unfortunately, I feel like this match is another one that is fairly obvious. I have Raquel Gonzalez defeating Io Shirai here and becoming the new NXT Women's Champion. Shirai has been the Women's Champion for a while now, like a long while. And she's had a pretty okay run, but I think it's time to move on. Raquel Gonzalez has been booked pretty well, aside from all of the Women's Tag Team Championship stuff that just recently went down. None of that made any sense whatsoever. If you ask me, I really wish that would have just been erased from history. It would have made things a lot easier. But I think that she still has what it takes to become the NXT Women's Champion. And she's, to me, an obvious choice to take it off of Io Shirai. Now, I'm not quite sure what that would mean for Io Shirai, if she would supposedly go to Raw or SmackDown or something like that, or still continue to stick around NXT. I'm not sure, but the one thing that I do know and that I'm very confident in is that it's time to pull the trigger on Raquel Gonzalez. I think she has what it takes. She's big, and I think, you know, she could be a star in NXT, but they really need to pull the trigger on this before the ships have sailed. I think it's very important. WWE has done that quite a few times with quite a few people, and I would hate to see them make that mistake here once again. So, like I said, I have Raquel Gonzalez defeating Io Shirai and walking out of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 as the new NXT Women's Champion. All right, guys, that is going to do it for my NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 1 predictions. You'll have to let me know your predictions down in the comments. I will be reading through all of them and also replying to every single one of them throughout the day today. I'm really excited to go through and read them. I'm still really kind of torn between the NXT Tag Team Championship match and the Gauntlet Eliminator one as well. I feel like it could go either way with a couple of those, so I'm very interested in seeing what you guys pick for those and what your thought process is behind those picks as well. But anyways, if you guys like this video, please make sure to hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, we have channel memberships that are unlocked as well. If you want to become a fellow disciple and help support the channel, you can do that now just by clicking the join button down below, right next to the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And before I go, I want to mention that we have a lot of content coming out this week on the channel, and we have a lot of wrestling content to consume as a whole as well this WrestleMania week. I believe it's like 10 straight days of things, so there will be another video tomorrow with my night 2 predictions, and there will not be an AEW Dynamite post show. It will actually be an NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver night 1 post show now. Instead, we will have night 2 on Thursday, of course, followed by a Friday post show, and then on Saturday and Sunday we will have WrestleMania post shows. And I think I plan to have the WrestleMania predictions videos out on Thursday or Friday as well. So lots of content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I always greatly appreciate it. It's always a pleasure chatting with you guys and interacting with you. I can't thank you guys enough for your support. It means the world to me. So thank you guys so much. And as always, I will see you guys later down the road. Peace.